Hello, welcome to the Stop, Drop, and Knit podcast. My name is Lisa, and I'm coming to you from Long Island, New York, and I am here to catch you guys up on my knitting. So it's been 2 weeks now, and I just thought I would share a little update on the Stephen West MusiKAL. I also thought that I would share some of my whips that are very close to being finished, but need something done to them still. Welcome to the Stop, Drop, and Knit podcast. My name is Lisa, and I am coming to you from Long Island, New York, on Friday, November 7th, 2025. I just got a little notice from YouTube today celebrating 5 years of me doing this podcast here. So yay, it's been about 5 years. I think I did start doing this the first time during the pandemic. I don't remember exactly what day it was in November. It must have been November 7th, which would have been 5 years ago today. Otherwise, they wouldn't have sent me that notification yet. For some reason, I thought it was closer to the end of November, but I think it was about earlier than I remembered it being. So yay! It's been 5 years of the Stop, Drop, and Knit podcast. So that's exciting. That's definitely something to celebrate. Yeah, we're still trying to get this going more regularly again. I definitely have the knitting mojo back, and I am finally in a place where I want to be more consistent with this channel again, where I am eager to share my projects with you all, my knitting projects. I also do spinning and natural dyeing. If any of that sounds interesting to you guys, then I hope you'll stick around and let's see what year 5 brings. I did not get an episode recorded last week due to the craziness that was Halloween DIY costume for my 10-year-old. I guess he was 5 when I started this podcast. My boy is now 10 and he's almost 11. He is now in middle school, and I guess he and this girl that he likes as of yesterday are official now. So my son has his first girlfriend. He was just 5, wasn't he just 5? I don't know. It goes by so fast. But there was a lot of craziness around his Halloween costume. I'll pop in some footage of that at the end, because that was an insane set of days crafting this thing. And I did not get a lot of knitting done leading up to Halloween. And then the day after Halloween, November 1st, is my husband's birthday. So there was just a lot going on last week. So not a lot of knitting happened. And I was exhausted. Halloween wiped me out. So I couldn't record. I couldn't really do much of anything. But we're back this week. I have an update for you on my knitting for Stephen West's mystery MusiKAL shawl. So that's the main thing that we're going to be talking about today. And aside from that, I mean, that was the main project that I was working on. I have been pretty monogamous with my knitting lately, and we'll get into that a little bit more later. I do have some whips that I'm going to pull out again today. It's just a small handful. Basically, I'm in this mood where I'm pretty monogamous. I'm happy being a pretty monogamous knitter because I'm getting more done that way. But I still have this itch to cast on so many new sweaters and all of the projects. But I'm not letting myself do that because I have like a couple, like 2 or 3 projects that I just have to get finished. So I'm going to pull those out today. And I'm going to spend this next week just busting them out because it's not a lot of work that I have to do to get them done. And because a whole bunch of them are for other people, I just really need to get those off of my plate So I'm going to share those with you today, and that's probably going to be today's episode. So not terribly long, but probably still an hour because I just blabber. So, all right, I think that's enough for an introduction. You can reach me in all of the usual places. I am on Instagram at Lisa Westervelt Flute Studio, and also Stop, Drop, and Knit Fiber Co. So I've got 2 accounts for Instagram. One of them is like my account, and then the other one is focused on my hand dyeing, naturally dyed yarn business. I am also on Ravelry. Lisa JAK78 is my username on Ravelry. I have to do a better job of updating my Ravelry projects, but I do have all of the projects that I talk about. They are all linked there. So even if I haven't updated my page, you'll be able to find like the link to the pattern and look at least other people's projects, even if my stuff isn't quite updated there as of yet. So where else am I? Am I anywhere else? TikTok, Stop, Drop, and Knit. That's it on TikTok. I haven't posted there that much or recently, but it exists. So if you guys are into TikTok, you can follow me there. So let's get into it. Let's start with the Stephen West shawl. It is bunched up. It is heavily bunched up on my needles because there's a lot of stitches on it right now. It is not yet done. It has been revealed in full, so I can insert pictures of other people's completed MusiKAL shawl so you can see what it's going to look like. So I'll probably insert one of the pictures that Stephen West has on his thing. But I am making very good progress on it. So it has been, let's see, which is the front? That's the front. Let me just get this. I always bunch it up when I put it away into like a little bundle. So let me just get it untangled from itself. I am using my own naturally dyed yarns for this. These yarns are my Halloween collection. Stop, Drop, and Knit Halloween 2025 collection. And all right, here we go. I'm going to show you the best as I can what it looks like so far. So yeah, it's really scrunchy right now, but oh my gosh, it's amazing. I love it. I love it so much. It's on the needles. I've got these cute little hedgehog stitch stoppers on them. I'm not sitting very close today. I was realizing that I sit very close to the camera usually, and every time I watch it back, I'm like thinking I shouldn't sit so close to the camera. But let me at least show you these cute little, I think I've showed them before. Those are my stitch stoppers, these little hedgehogs from Fox and Pine. All right, so where am I? I am on clue 4. So I finished clue 3. Last time I was not even halfway through clue 3 when I shared it here. So, oh. All right, hang on a second. Owen is coming home. We're gonna try this again. I just had a 45-minute interruption. My child, Owen, who is supposed to be in theater rehearsal, turns out he wasn't needed for theater rehearsal today. So my podcasting time got interrupted. I was teaching this morning and I thought, great, I can record my podcast while Owen is in theater. So he's now playing outside after he had a little bit of lunch. And now we're going to resume talking about the MusiKAL shawl. It is not easy. When you live in a 500 square foot apartment, you cannot have other people around when you try to record a podcast. It's just, yeah, it doesn't work. Okay. I don't even remember exactly what I was saying, but I know I hadn't really done too much yet. So I think that That's right. Last time, okay. So last time I podcast 2 weeks ago, I was still in the middle of clue 3. So I will show you again in case you haven't seen. So clue 1 is that scallop section right there. So there is 6, there we go, 6 scallops. Then clue 2 was the asymmetrical squiggle section, which was so much fun to knit. And then clue 3, this is where I was last time. Okay, so clue 3, I had only about half of this section done at the time, but it started by picking up stitches from the bottom of the scallop edge, and I think I was about halfway through the diamonds. Oh my gosh, it's so beautiful. I love it so much. So there's 9 rows of these diamonds or parallelograms. Each scallop connects 3 of the, what he calls modular strips in this shawl. So we've got 1, 2, 3, and then we're at the bottom of the next 1, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And so that was the first part of clue 3. So he calls clue 3 section 3 and section 4. So section 3 was the parallelograms. And then section 4, I'm going to try to spread this out now. I've got it all scrunched up. Okay, here we go. So section 4 is this beautiful woven section up here with slip stitches. You see how pretty that is? I'm trying to see. Oh, it's so nice. That deceptively large amount of knitting in, like, I knew the parallelograms would be a lot of knitting. Those were really fun. The modular, not the modular, the woven strip, also a lot of knitting. It did get shorter as it went along. So what happened was the top edge of the short side of the squiggles here. So this, I'm gonna stand up and get a little closer so I can see. So the squiggle section had, it was like the short end here and then this much wider end at this side. So the short end of the squiggles we picked up to start this woven section, and then it went all the way down this edge here. And so I held the mohair with the orange for the background of this woven section, and it was a lot of knitting because the rows started really long and then kept getting shorter and shorter. But that part was fun, and now I'm on this brioche border, which a lot of knitting because the rows are like almost 500 stitches long. I think by the time you get all said and done with it, it is over 500 stitches, but I am in the middle. Well, I actually am almost done with the first brioche section. So I'm gonna bring it a little closer here. So this brioche section here, I just have to do 2 more rows. It's the 2 wrong side rows to finish this first brioche on the border. And I'm using colors. Let me see if I can spread it out and show you like front and back. I'm using colors A and D, as he says. So A is just the dark gray, and then the reverse side of the brioche is my variegated color D right there. So these are my colors A and D. So A is the dark gray and D is my Trick or Treat yarn. And other colors, here they are. My color B is the lighter gray, and the color C is my jack-o'-lantern color. So, and the colors for the yarn were all naturally dyed with my Sulfur Cosmo flowers out in the garden. And the grays are from sumac leaves. So this is, I can't even believe, like, when looking at this, that this is all natural dyes. It's amazing to me, but I love this so much. That's the back side. Let's show you the front side. Yeah, I love it so much. I feel like that interruption that I just had, like, smushed. Like, I was in the flow. I was just getting into it. I was in the flow. And now Owen is playing outside, and my husband came home to kind of keep him occupied too, because he's off on Fridays. And my natural light, I still have some natural light, thank goodness, but he's like, why don't you just wait and record later when he's at the library for his theater thing? And I said, because I won't have natural light later. So I begged. I was like, please let me record. So anyway, so this thing is massive. Yeah, I happen to really like, so the big controversy with this shawl, that, you know, people either love it or they hate it. And there's a lot of people complaining that the two halves of the shawl just look like two random shawls smushed together. Like, we've got the wavy shawl, and then this like geometric shawl, right? And I mean, yes, that's true. I can see it. I still think they look great together. And at least on my shawl with my colors, I don't think it looks like this big jarring difference between the halves. And the brioche border, of course, is going to tie all of it together. I mean, the brioche is not necessarily geometric, and there's no other brioche in this more geometric side of the shawl. But I think there's this random stitch marker too that gets placed that we don't really do anything with. What I am told is that we're going to be doing a little bit of shaping in the brioche, which will help on that side make the brioche squiggle to follow the shapes of the squiggly side. And then I think on this side of the shawl, there's no squiggle. It's just going to be brioche. So we'll see how it all ends up looking in the end. I mean, I can show you some pictures of other people's shawls, and I think that it's amazing. Just, I don't know, his creativity, Stephen West's creativity is, whether you like the design or not, it's really hard to argue with the fact that he is kind of a creative genius. Just the directions that his designs go, it's always surprising, always different from what other people do. And yeah, I guess there's some people that think some of these MusiKAL shawls are just him being unique and different for the sake of being different and unique, because it's a mystery and he can get away with it more because people just buy in to the mystery aspect. And like that, he almost takes advantage of people not knowing what it's going to look like. I kind of I can see where they say that and disagree. Like the hybrid knit along, which I've never done, but I'm tempted to do. Like, that one's not a mystery. You know exactly what the shawl looks like before you buy the pattern and go through the process of like buying kits for the shawl. You know what you're getting into, and with the mystery you don't. But I think that that's a lot of the fun of it. And whether you like it or not, most of the time you're learning something new, or at least even if you're not necessarily learning a new technique, it's just the journey of it for me that is really fun. This is the third one that I've done now. I did shawlography and twists and turns, and now this one. And while I've not always enjoyed every part of the knitting process for all of those shawls, the end result, I think it always comes together, and it's just, they're always so creative and so different from each other and what everybody else is doing, that I don't know, I enjoy it, and I love the way that mine is turning out. And you know, I think for those people that don't love the idea of not knowing what the final product is going to look like, and they're hesitant to buy a kit or something, you can either wait until you know what it looks like, or if you want to take part in the mystery knit along process and be part of the community unraveling the whole pattern together, like just dig from your stash, and you don't have to go buy an expensive kit to take part in the make along. You can just grab things. And I think that Stephen, even though he puts together kits and works with different dyers to create kits for his shawls, he's all about stash diving too. So I think it's just the sense of community coming together. So yeah, I don't know. And then besides, when you wrap it around you, I can't wrap it around me right now, but it all just works. I think it just all works. Okay, so I think that's all I have to say about this. I am learning that brioche is really fun. I have done small amounts of brioche before. I think always in 2 colors. I don't think I've ever done 1 color brioche. I think it's always been 2 colors. But I've always done it in such small amounts that I've always had to look up how to do it again. This shawl gives you like these nice long rows. It's just like mindless ribbing. Really, I find it, once you get the hang of it and once you know how to read your stitches in brioche, it's actually really, really simple to even like put it down and pick it up and know exactly where you are. So I think that even though it's a really big border and a long border, I'm really enjoying having these longer rows. I remember like the first clue, I don't even know if I mentioned that during the first clue, it was one of those knits that for the first time ever, I think, had to have complete silence to be able to concentrate and knit these scallops. This was not a stick a podcast on or have a conversation with another person knitting. These scallops took every little bit of concentration that I had. It was complicated, not difficult. Complicated and difficult are not the same. It was complicated, not difficult, but you had to focus. And I really needed to focus. So that was like one part of the shawl that I didn't like, was that I had to be so focused, and it was kind of intense knitting. And I didn't really watch any podcasts that whole week. But then when you get to these squiggles, that was really nice. You could podcast, like watch TV, enjoy other people's podcasts, watch other people working on their make along, knit alongs. And then, you know, the same thing with the third. Like every other part of this shawl I have been able to work on kind of mindlessly while watching other things, or if I got interrupted, I didn't have to freak out and panic. It was just that first scallopy section. So if you guys can get through the first scallop section, you're gold from there. It's gonna be fine. So let's talk about brioche, because it is something. I'm all tangled. I've got yarn wrapped around me. Hold on. All right. I got myself untangled. All right, so let's talk about brioche a little bit. I have started a new project, and this is one of the whips I'm going to share. So I'll share this one first. It's a new cast on, and I'm using a pattern sort of like I am. I'm just having to alter the size that I'm knitting to make it work. Okay, so one of my flute students, Maddie, I actually saw her this morning. She and her family throwing yarn everywhere again. Over the summer, Maddie and her family went to Peru. And so I was just saying, oh, I knit and, you know, alpacas. I would love to go and see the alpacas. And they say that they always like bring yarn back. And I guess her mom crochets a little bit, but not like a lot like I do with knitting or anything. So they brought some yarn back from Peru. And I can't tell you what any of it is. It mostly looks like commercial yarn, but this is what she brought back from Peru. And all that I know is that these two are 100% alpaca. And I think 3 of them are. I think the light pink is too, but these are from some kind of alpaca farm. I think the yarn was like spun in Estonia, but the alpacas themselves, I think, were from Peru. All I know is that this alpaca was named Daisy, and the white alpaca was named Conrad. And that's like the extent of what I know. I don't know the weight of the yarn. I think it's between a fingering and a sport weight. And then these two. So I think that the light pink is also 100% alpaca, but this one here, it's like really floofy. See if I can get just the texture of this to show at all. It's like super soft and floofy, and it has sparkles in it too. I don't know that the sparkles are gonna show up, but I'm losing my light already. That's a little sad, but we're just gonna go with it. So Maddie just said, she gave me this yarn and she said, can you make me a hat? I was like, okay, I can make you a hat. And so she's just kind of left it up to me. She's 13, so she likes pink. She just knew that she wanted it to be pink, and she wanted me to use all these yarns. So I decided that I was just in a brioche kind of mood from working on the shawl, and I decided that just doing more brioche would just help me learn it and get more used to it. And so I just cast on. I think this is the 3rd time I've cast it on, because since I have no idea like what weight this yarn is, like I didn't do a gauge swatch. I probably should have just swatched, but with a hat, it's like you just go so quickly. So I found a free pattern from Purl Soho, and it's one that they just released recently. It's like a 2-color brioche, and it used like a DK. So I thought I would be pretty close, but I think that because I'm holding yarns together, it is more of like a worsted, probably. So I started off with like the adult small size, which I think was around like 96 stitches. And then that was looking pretty big. So then I took it out and I did like the large child size, which was about 84 stitches around. And that was still feeling pretty big. So I ripped it out again. And now I've got 72 stitches. And I think it's hard to tell. Like, I think it's going to be good. I don't want it to be like too small, but I just felt like the others were going to be too big. You don't want a hat to be too big. So I'm gonna knit a few more inches until I can actually like put it on my head and make sure that the fit is okay. But basically I'm holding together the 2 pinks, and then I'm holding together the white and the tan, which I just dropped again on the floor. But I'll show you, I'll come up close and show you what it's looking like so far. So, you know, I hardly have anything done, like 1/2 inch maybe, but I think it's gonna be kind of overall a soft baby pink hat. And I know that she wants a pom-pom. So we'll see how much yarn I have left. I don't know that I'm gonna make a pom-pom from this yarn. I might just buy a pom-pom to go with this. We will see when I get there and see what it looks like. But I'll insert the name of the pattern. It'll be in my description. And I just looked for a free pattern. And one of the first ones that came up was the free 2-color brioche pattern from Purl Soho. So I just decided to go with that one. So this is the first project that is going to be in my week-long whips focus. I am going to see how many of these I can get done this week. And I think I'm going to be able to do all of it. And so now I'm going to show you the different things that I'm going to be working on for between now and the next podcast. It's ridiculous. So I have a couple of gift knits that I need to finish up. Last January, so it's November, so 10 months ago now, my cousin and his family were one of the first to lose their house in the Palisades fires in California. And I think they've got 2 boys. One of them is still a baby, but maybe like 1.5 now. And then the other one is 4, 5, something like that. But they're now in Scottsdale, Arizona. So they have a new house now and living not in California, but close by to some of her family. And little Finn had lost all of his stuffed animals in the fire. And they've been replaced. And I'm sure he has many more now, but I just thought that it would be really nice to knit him a stuffed animal. And so one of his favorites, she said, was a puppy. And so I knit this little puppy. And I've still not mailed it. This is Waffles. Waffles, I don't know if Waffles had his cute little tail last time or not, but Waffles has been finished for so long, but there's a little sweater and there's a little hat that goes with Waffles. And I wanted to knit those before I sent him off, and I just haven't. So I've got the yarn. It was like a kit from Susan B. Andersen. It's one of her patterns. So cute. But he needs to be with little Finn in Arizona and not living on my shelf back here. As cute as he looks on my shelf, he needs to be with his human family. That's not me. So this week, I'm saying these things on the podcast so that they happen, okay? Because if I don't say them on the podcast, they might not happen for another 10 months. This week, one of the things I'm going to finish is the hat and the sweater for Waffles. And then we're going to get him to the post office so that he can have his air travel over to Arizona and be with little Finn. So that's the first thing that we're going to finish. So we're going to finish this. We're going to do the hat for my student mostly because I want to knit myself projects. And I don't want to feel guilty that I'm not making a hat because I knit myself this whole big shawl for the MusiKAL. And I just kept telling her I was going to start her hat soon. So we've got the hat that I need to knit. So that's a gift to knit. We've got the puppy. Waffles needs his sweater and his hat. I'm going to save the other big gift knit for a minute here. This is one that's for me. So what did I say at the beginning of this podcast? We are 5-year anniversary now. Okay, this project, I believe that I started it before I started podcasting. And I know for a fact that it has shown up in every single one of my end of the year whip videos, like lingering whip videos. You guys, it's still not done, but it's closer. I didn't do one of those videos this year, I don't think. I think I just did everything I finished. So you haven't seen this in a while, but every time I bring it out, I'm like, I'm going to finish this so that it's no longer on my end of the year lingering whips videos. And it's happening this time. You guys, I am so close. My shift cowl is finished. It is finished. It's been finished for a month and a half. It's been blocked now for a month. It's blocked. All that I need to do is stitch it together, and then I can wear it and actually use it. Most people knit this thing in like 2 weeks, 5 years. Why is this not done? Why is this not done? I like it. It's gonna look good with things that I wear. I just have to literally sit there now. I mean, I've blocked it. It just needs to be seamed up. So that's gonna happen this week. And then I have one other project that is gonna happen this week. And I'm not allowed to start anything new until these things are done, because these things are gifts and they need to be gifted. I don't need to have these things around anymore. They need to be gifts. So last year, this was supposed to be my dad's 75th birthday present. It was not finished. I think last year I started it around this time, like November, and I did not get it finished. And then I did get it finished, and it's way too big. It was a bottom-up sweater. This is Marius sweater number 10. I think it's a drops pattern. And my parents, my dad specifically, on one of their trips to Norway, had sent me a picture and said, this sweater would be really nice to have. And so I sent him a message back and I said, oh, wait, what did he say? He said, this would make a great Christmas gift. And I think I said to my parents, I said, the yarn to knit it would also make a great Christmas gift. And so they did. They went back to Norway, and I told them what they needed in terms of quantity and everything. And they got me the yarn. And, oh, we got a fuzzy on it. No, that's a stitch marker. I must have dropped a stitch. It's a stitch marker and a fuzzy. Okay. Oh, no, wait, I didn't drop a stitch. The stitch marker. Okay. Oh, now I remember. Okay. So I finished it. Basically, like, I knit my dad a dress. Okay. Like, this is a dress. This, it's cute on me. It's like super oversized, but my dad doesn't want it oversized. It's basically like it fits. He tried it on over the summer, or in May, something like that, when they were here. And I just marked like where I needed to adjust the size to fit him. And so I have a stitch marker in over here. So I'm gonna take out, I'm basically gonna raise the ribbing to here. So sweater surgery needs to happen. And then the sleeves are also too long. And I don't remember if, oh, I did. I marked this with a stitch marker too. So, and the sleeves were knit cuff up too. So all the tapering, I don't know how I'm going to do that. I'm not going to knit the whole sleeve again. And I guess I could take it off, take the inches out a little bit higher up. I have to figure out how I'm going to do this because it's shaped. And so I can't really just cut it and plop it in. I think I'm going to have to, I might have to pick up and like reknit it the opposite way. But basically I put a stitch marker in, and like this is how too long the sleeve is. So I basically need to put the cuff up higher. But anyway, so my dad and my mom, they're coming for Thanksgiving, but they're actually coming like the week before Thanksgiving. I think they're coming around the 18th, the 17th or the 18th. So and my dad's birthday is Christmas Eve. So this needs to get to him like now, like when they come. They live in South Carolina now, so he's got no need for this sweater down there. But they travel a lot. Sometimes places they travel to are very cold because he's retired. My parents are retired, so they're just traveling everywhere, as one does when they retire. But yeah, so this is needing to be it needs surgery. And I think I'm going to record this one as a separate video to show you guys how I'm doing it, because I think that's a useful thing to know how to do. I did sweater surgery on one of my sweaters a couple of years ago, and I think I just mostly put in pictures, but I don't think I filmed really the process of doing it. So I think I'm going to try to film the process of doing sweater surgery on this one. So these are my 4 projects plus finishing my shawl. Oh wait, I have another one too that I also want to finish. I don't know if it'll get totally finished. I've got Gnumpkin and Gnettle. What am I thinking? I skipped a whole project. So I've got 3 gifts. I've got the sweater, and I've got the hat for my student, and I've got the hat and sweater for the puppy that need to be finished. I've got to do a quick mattress seam and weaving and ends on my shift. And then I can't believe I forgot about this one. Obviously I want to finish the shawl, not the shawlography, the MusiKAL shawl. I want to finish that too. But I've got Gnumpkin and Gnettle that I did a little bit more work on, and I want to at least finish Gnumpkin. So these are also not mystery anymore. I just got, oh, I told you I was going to show you the Halloween project too. My goodness. I got all kinds of discombobulated when Owen came home. I just lost track. I didn't write down what I was going to talk about. I just pulled projects, and this is what I do. Sometimes I write it down, and then sometimes I don't. Anyway, Shira, Imagine Landscapes, her mystery gnome along for October is finished now. And so Gnumpkin and Gnettle are pumpkin themed gnomes. You can't tell anymore, but I did actually block this little hat. And I've got the yarn inside of here, but I'm halfway through knitting the body. Whoop. So this is Gnumpkin so far, and he's a pumpkin, Gnumpkin the pumpkin, and I've got to knit the rest of his pumpkin body, and then basically just attach his 2 little legs, and he gets a beard and a nose, and then he's done. So Gnumpkin is going to get done for sure. I don't think Gnettle's going to get done. I'm not going to pressure myself to also get Gnettle done, but I did start Gnettle, and once Gnumpkin is completely finished then and assembled and everything, I will then continue work on Gnettle. But I'll show you. I knit just one little leg. Here's her leg, and so she's a witchy themed one, and that's her little leg right there. And I'm also using my naturally dyed yarns for Gnumpkin and Gnettle, my little sock set. In my shop it's called, I just named it Gnumpkin and Gnettle, and then there's another one that I named Gourdgeous. And so I've got 2 fall themed mini skein sets. You need 3 mini skeins for each one of these gnomes. And yeah, so I decided for the colors for Gnettle that she's gonna be like overall green, and so for her I'm using the gray and the green. So that's what I did so far in her little leg, and then I have this other murkier green, and that's gonna be the pumpkin body for Gnettle. So those are my projects. I desperately want to cast on a couple of sweaters. I have one sweater pattern that I have the yarn for. I have the yarn for so many sweaters already. Guys, this is going to be another video, like a series within my podcast, is like the amount of sweater quantities of yarn I have already purchased for specific sweaters that just need to be knit up. That's its own video that's gonna happen. There's videos. I've got ideas. We're in the mood for this now, for this podcasting thing. yeah, I wasn't for a little while there, but I'm back and I'm ready and excited now. But there's one that I want to get cast on, patterned by Caitlin Hunter. And I have yarn. Oh, there's more. I've got yarn for another sweater that I want to use and need to like figure out a pattern for. But I need to dig it out of for both of those sweaters, I need to dig them out of my yarn closet, which is a disaster right now. So I might take you into my scary yarn closet and show you guys my stash, which I have never done on this channel, and maybe do some stash organization type stuff. I'm somewhat organized. I was, but it's no longer. And yeah, so there might be like some stash reveal videos happening here too, because it's scary in there. My yarn closet is frightening. Yeah, but so I want to cast on sweaters so badly, and I'm okay to do that as long as like I'm working on my MusiKAL, Shawl, and Gnumpkin and Gnettle. But like I have got to finish the sweater for my dad before they come in like a week and a half. I might have a little leeway there because they'll be in town for about a week up until about Thanksgiving. So like that's good too, because I can do the surgery, have him try it on again, do one of the sleeves, make sure that that's gonna work before I do both of them. Like there can be some collaboration now, but with the side, it's like really hard to knit for somebody when they're like states away, and when they're not exactly the same shape and size as you, and when it's bottom up. That's where this all went wrong. It was bottom up. And so I couldn't try it on either me or him, and then all of a sudden it was just like a dress. And yeah, so that needs to happen. The hat for my student, I've got, you know, that there's no deadline on that, except that I put it off since the summer because it was the summer and we didn't need a hat, but it's getting cold now. And so I want to be knitting my own thing. So I want that to just get knit and finished. And it's a hat, so it shouldn't take too long. But this puppy needs to go. He's been, I mean, this is like from January. Their house burned down in January, and now it's November and it's almost January again. So like, I just need to finish it. And a little sweater and a hat for stuffed animal is not going to take too long. So that needs to go on its way. So yeah, I've got that. That's my plan for this week. So next week, on next week's episode, I'm going to show you all of these finished things, or at least close to being finished things, right? And then we will be in, like, I will have guilt-free cast on. I'll probably gonna have cast on itis, because the itch to be casting everything on is there. We are in sweater season now, and that's my next video for you guys too, is that I don't feel like I have any sweaters, or that many sweaters out of my hand knit sweater collection that I still want to wear for one reason or another. So I actually might film some of that tonight while he is at the library, because my husband might stay there and work at the library too while Owen is there. So I might film a little bit more tonight and try on my sweaters. So yeah, so the cast on, the urge to cast everything on is real right now. So anyway, I am going to show you guys the Halloween costume before I end the video. Otherwise, we're done. You guys want to sign off now? We're done. Please follow, like, subscribe. Please subscribe if you guys stay with me all this time. I have been for like, I think that's part of like where my motivation to film went away to, because I've been so close to 3,000 subscribers for like the past 2.5 years. And it's just, I'm crawling. I'll like inch up a handful of subscribers and then I'll lose a few subscribers. And I've been hovering at like 2,800 subscribers for about 3 years now. And that's kind of demotivating sometimes, because I'm not getting a lot of comments anymore either. So guys, leave me a comment. I love interacting with you. It makes it feel so much more fulfilling to sit here and record when I'm actually building community, because I don't need to do this for myself. I do this because I want to share my knitting with other people who get it. And my son and my husband, they varying levels of get it, but you guys get it. And so I like to hear from you most of all. So please leave me a comment. And if you're not subscribed, please subscribe. That would be amazing. And so I'll see you next time. I'm gonna run and get the epic Halloween mask that I spent 3 to 5 nights creating. So hang on. You guys ready? I'm Strawberry Elephant. I can't see anything. Yeah. I glow in the dark. I'm an elephant. I'm a strawberry elephant. I am one of the rarest brain rots in a Roblox game. Did you guys know that? You guys. Oh my goodness. I gotta find a place to store him too because he's huge. But basically, there's this Roblox game called Steal a Brain Rot. And brain rots are, I don't even know what they are. They're nonsensical. I think that's the point. They're mashups between different things. Obviously, this is a mashup between an elephant and a strawberry. So we have strawberry elephant. And I think this thing is epic. This came out so great. You guys, I made this out of cardstock. This is, yeah, this is cardstock. So I found a pattern for this elephant mask on Lapa, LAPA.com, I think is what it is. It's basically, it's like LA paper art. They're out in Los Angeles, LA. And then I guess LAPA, Lapa, right? Paper, LA paper. And they have all these different DIY mask patterns for like Halloween, cosplay. Basically, it was fun. This thing was difficult. This thing, I used cardstock and wood glue to hold it together. And then like a bone folder to make all the different creases. Yeah. This thing took forever. That's why I got no knitting done leading up to Halloween. Oh my gosh. And then I put, for the strawberry seeds, I did glow in the dark puff paint. And so I'll insert some pictures, but yeah, this is why no knitting got done and why there was no podcast last week, because strawberry elephant. Bye everybody. I'll see you again soon. Thanks for watching.